Okay, good morning class. I'm Sir Ramos. I'm going to discuss to you about set. Bago yan, i-present ko muna sa inyo yung aking ginawang presentation. Ayan. So ito yung icon na makikita natin sa ating module na inyong hawak. So first one, we have the MELC objective. Ang target natin is to describe the well-defined set, subset, universal set, null set, and even the cardinality of set. May dadagdag lang ako dito sa ating objective, that is to illustrate a set using the three methods. We have the verbal description, the roster method, and the set builder. And we also have here the what I know. Ito yung magsisilbing pretest ninyo. I'm going to read the direction. Read each item carefully. Write the letter of the correct answer in your notebook. So ito yung magsisilbing pretest ninyo just to assess your prior knowledge bago nating i-discuss yung ating lesson. Next, we have this activity. What's in? Time to itemize. If you can, list down all the definite members of the group. So ito yung pangalan ng groups natin. If you cannot state the reason, bakit? Write your answer in your notebook. Let's have Blackpink. Ito yung Korean singers. Ililist down ninyo kung sino-sino. Pretty Girls, Colors of Rainbow, Nice Toys, first 5 counting numbers. So madali lang yan, enumerate lang ninyo. Next, activity. Let us have activity 1 entitled Garden Groupie. Variety of things in Maria's garden. Ito yung makikita natin sa garden ni Maria. Ito yung watering can, eggplant, bitter gourd, carrots, java plum, trowel, orange, and guavas. Answer the following in a separate sheet of paper. Number 1. How will you group the things in Maria's garden? Paano ninyo i-group tong mga things na to? Makikita ninyo. Number 2. What are the parts of the body that you will use to help you classify the things? Next, enumerate the possible groups that you can think of. You're going to enumerate. Saan mo to i-group? Saan mo to i-group? Ayan. How many groups did you form? After you group them, ilang grupo ang na-form? Number 5. Is there an object that belongs to more than one group? Number 6. Name at least 3 objects and the corresponding group where it belongs. You're going to list or state the object to which it belongs. In what group? Saan siya napasama? Number 7. What is common among the object in its group? Ano yung common? Kapag na-group mo na ninyo, ano yung magiging common na description nitong object na to? Bakit siya napasama sa grupong yan? And 8. Did you describe clearly the object in its group? Number 9. The last problem. What word that start with W does the underlined word means? Ano tong W na tawag dito? Describe clearly. What word that start with W does the underlined word? I'm referring to Describe clearly. Underline word means. Ano ba yung W na yan? So, clue. Tingnan natin. Ano ba yung W? Hayun! Kita ko na. Okay, so, ito yung ating pag-aaralan. Unahin na natin dito yung set. Ano yung tungkol sa set? What is a set? Set in mathematics is defined as a collection of well-defined distinct objects. It is denoted by a capital letter of the English alphabet. Step A, B, C, and so on, so forth. Next, let us have this set of numbers. Set in numbers. Start with integers. So let's have this integers. Actually, I usually use this 3 dot that represent infinity. Ang tawag natin dito sa 3 dots na to ay ellipsis. So yan. Yang 3 dots na to. That is what we call the this is known as ellipsis. Sobrang laking text. Tawag dyan ay ellipsis. Ayan, ellipsis. So, pag may nakita kayong tatlong dot na yan, ibig sabihin, tatlong dot na ganyan, ibig sabihin that is infinite. So, integers, we have from negative infinity followed by negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, up to positive infinity. Yan yung ating integers. From negative and positive integers. Including, of course, we have the universal number. We have 0. Then we have the whole numbers. Whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, up to positive infinity. And next, we have counting numbers. Start with 1, 2, 3, 4, up to positive infinity. Take note, when say counting numbers, start with 1. Paano ba tayo magbilang? Siyempre, nagsisimula sa 1. Ang whole number naman, take note, walang negative na whole numbers. Start kagad sa 0. Then we have the even numbers. This is sometimes called as keep counting by 2. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Then we have the odd numbers. Odd numbers, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. Then we have the set of prime numbers. We have here 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and so on. Why is it that these are called prime numbers? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng prime numbers? So, take note. Pag sinabi nating prime numbers, these are numbers that has no other prime factor except 1 and the number itself. Again, when we say prime numbers, those are numbers that has no other prime factor except 1 and the number itself. Yun lang yung kanyang prime factors. 2. 2 times 1. Wala nang ibang prime factors. 3. We have 3 times 1. 5. 5 times 1. Those are only the prime factors. 1 and the number itself. Next. Composite numbers. What do you mean by composite numbers? Say composite numbers, these are numbers that has more than 1 prime factors. We have 4, 6, 8, 9, 12, and so on and so forth. 4. Why is it that 4 is a composite numbers? That is because aside dun sa 4 times 1 na factors, meron pa tayong 2 times 2 that will give us 4. Okay, so yan yung composite number. 6. Aside dun sa 6 times 1, meron pa tayong 2 times 3. That will give us 6. Then we have 9. Ganun din yon. 9 times 1, aside dun sa 9 times 1, meron din tayong 3 times 3. 3 and 3 are factors of 9. So, please be familiarize yourself with those set of numbers. Kasi ma-encounter po natin to when we will be discussing about the set. So, dapat familiar na kayo dyan. Next, let us have the element. So, what do you mean by element? Element are members of the given set that is represented by the Greek letter epsilon. Ito yung symbol natin ng element that can be read as is an element or pwede ring belongs to. Yan yung pagbasa nitong element na to, itong symbol na to. So kapag ka hindi siya element, ito yung symbol na gagamitin natin. It can be read as not an element or does not belongs to. Kapag ka element, ang tinutukoy nito yung object na nandun sa set. Okay, so let's consider this activity. Let's have set A, whose members are set of integers. Set B, those are set of whole numbers. Set C, set of prime numbers. And set D, we have set of even numbers. We're going to identify or classify whether this given number belongs to the given set. Let's have negative 4. Do you think negative 4 belongs to set B? What is set B? Again, set B is a set of whole numbers. Do you think negative 4 is a whole number? Definitely that is not a whole number. Why? Because of this sign, negative. Take note, we don't have negative a number that is said to be whole. So this is not an element of set B. So ayusin ko lang yung sulat ko. So negative 4 definitely is not an element of set B. Medyo mahirap magsulat pagka mouse ang gamit. Next, number 2. We have 5. Do you think 5 belongs to set A? Wherein set A, members of set A are set of integers. Okay, so definitely 5 is an element of set A. The next, number 3. 1. Do you think 1 belongs to set C? Wherein set C are set of prime numbers. When we say prime numbers, these are the numbers that has no other prime factor except 1 and the number itself. Definitely 1 is not an element since 1 is not a prime number, nor that is not also a composite number. For your information, 1 is not a prime number, 1 is not a composite number because 1 is a special number. And next, number 4, 12. Do you think 12 belongs to set B? Do you think 12 is a whole number? Yes. So 12 is an element of set B. How about number 5? 9. Do you think 9 is an even number? Even number ba yung 9? Ang D natin ay set of even number. Definitely, that is not an even number. Since pagka sinabi nating even number, ito yung ating 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and so on, so forth. Okay, next, number 6. That is not an element. Number 6, 9. Again, 9, is it belongs to set C this time? Still, that's not belongs to set C. Talagang ayaw nila sa 9 ah. Ayaw nilang tanggapin. Bakit kaya? Bakit hindi siya belong sa prime number? Because we have other factor except 1 and 9. Ito yung 3 times 3. Hindi siya prime numbers. Prime numbers lang natin. Ito yung 2, 3, 7, 11, 13, 17, and so on and so forth. Wala na kayong pwedeng i-multiply pa or aside dun sa 1 and the number itself na kung saan makukuha yung number. Next, number 7, negative 6. Do you think that is an element of set A? Set of integers. Definitely that is an element regardless if that is a negative or a positive, for as long as that is an integers. That is an element. Next, number 8. We have 4. Do you think that belongs to set D? Set of even numbers. So 4 is an even number, so definitely that is an element of set D. Next, number 9. 15. Is it an element of set C? Or do you think 15 is a prime number? Definitely that is not a prime number. Kasi aside dun sa 1 times 5, meron pa tayong pwedeng i-multiply. That is 5 times 3 para makuha yung 15. Kaya hindi siya prime numbers. The next, number 10, last one. 17. Do you think 17 belongs to set C? Wherein this 17 is a prime number? Definitely that is yes. That is an element of a prime number. So that's all for the activity. Okay, next, we're going to discuss about the well-defined and not well-defined. And say well-defined means having clearly distinguishable characteristic or features. When you list down the members of the group, you will have the same opinion compared with the other people. Or if you are going to list down the element, you will arrive definitely the same element compared with the other people who list down also the element. You will come up with the same set containing the same element. Not well defined means the result when you list down the members of the group will not be absolute or clear, that people will arrive with different result. Example natin. Let us have this example. We're going to identify whether each item is well-defined or not well-defined. Example number 1. Group of intelligent person in math. Do you think this is well-defined or not well-defined? So if I'm going to ask you to list down persons that is said to be intelligent in math, will you have the same set, the same element? Pare-parehas ba yung inyong magiging sagot? Definitely, that is not well defined. Not well defined. Okay, bakit siya tinawag na well-defined? So, ang tips natin dito ay kung meron tayong nakitang adjective. Yan. Kasi pagka merong adjective yan, may kanya-kanya naman tayong level. Level na kung saan maaaring makategorize natin yung person kung siya man ay intelligent or hindi intelligent pagdating sa atin or pagdating sa ibang tao. So maaaring magkakaiba tayo ng opinion. Kung yun man ay intelligent sa akin, maaaring hindi intelligent yun pagdating sa iba. So kaya siya not well defined. Next, the group of month in a year. Do you think this is a well-defined or not well-defined? Definitely that is a well-defined. Bakit naman to well-defined? Kasi nga, pagka ililist down natin yung month in a year, we definitely arrive with the same set. We're going to list down January all the way down to December. January, February, March, April, May, June, hanggang sa December. Isa lang naman yung ating may bibigay na set. We only have 12 months in a year. Specific lang. Then we have the group of beautiful places. We have the group of beautiful places. I'm going to encircle this word, beautiful. Yan. Marami tayong beautiful places. Pero ang tanong, yung beautiful places ba sa inyo ay beautiful place na sa akin? So, that's why that is not well defined. Ba't nakakaps lock to? That is not well defined. Next, group of integers from 0 to 20. Is it well defined or not well defined? Definitely that is well defined. Because we can actually list down the members in a group from 0 up to 20. 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way down to 20. We will come up with the same set. The next, last one. Group of best songs in 2020. Again, group of best songs in 2020. Do you think this is well defined or not well defined? So, ang tanong dito, if this set or hits are best songs for me in 2020, ito rin ba ay best songs pagdating sa inyo? Kasi magkakaiba tayo ng criteria sa kung kailan natin to masasabing best song o pagdating sa atin best song, pagdating sa inyo hindi naman siya best song. So definitely this is not well defined. Kung para sa inyo yan yung best song sa 2020, ang tanong, ganun din ba sa akin? Best songs din ba yan ang 2020 pagdating sa akin? Yun na nga ang tanong. So, kaya yan, ang tawag natin yan ay not well defined. So, siguro, klaro naman na sa inyo. Kapag meron kayong nakitang adjective, automatic na po yun. Yan. So, back na po natin. Okay, then let us save the last part of this video. So, I'm going to discuss how you're going to illustrate the set using these three methods: verbal description, roster method, then the set builder. So let's start with the verbal description. Sa verbal description, well-defined descriptions of the element is given and is enclosed in a curly bracket, or simply we're going to use this brace. Example, we're going to use this capital letter to name the set. Okay, so set A, then I'm going to use equal, then followed by the brace in which it encloses the given statement or verbal description of the given set was enclosed by that brace. So ito yung ating verbal statement. Prime number less than 14. That is the verbal description that is enclosed by brace. And using this name of a set, set A, that is read as set A containing the prime numbers less than 14. So, yan yung pagbasa niyan. And next, let's have another set, set B. We're going to have this verbal description again. That verbal description is actually enclosed by the brace. Using that brace. So, using this name of a set, set B, it can be read as set B containing the odd numbers less than 12. So that is on how you're going to illustrate set using the verbal description. Okay, next, let us have the roster method. So sa roster method naman, that is also known as tabular form, or simply we have the listing method from the root from the word itself, listing. Elements are listed within the pair of braces and are separated by commas. Okay, so let us have an example. Set A, the name of a set, again should be written in a capital letter and followed by equal sign. Then we have the symbol for set, which is our brace. Okay, so given the element, we're going to list down the element separately. Okay, so enclose here the element and it's separated by a commas. That can be read as set A containing the elements 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and 13. Then next example, we have set B. Given these elements inside the brace that is separated by this comma. Okay, so that can be read as set B containing the elements 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. So that is on how you're going to use this to illustrate the set using the listing method, or that is also known as the roster method. Next, let us have the last one, the set builder, or that is the rule method. A rule or the formula or a statement is written within a pair of braces that stand for set of all. Yan. So that all the set is well defined. Note that all the elements of the set possess a single property to become a members of that set. Then we write the property possessed by the element of the set and enclose the whole description in braces. Example, let's consider again this set A. Again, you should write that one using a capital letter. So let us have this rule. Okay, you notice that there is another variable or another letter inside the brace. We have x. This x actually represent the element. Okay, x such that x, that can be read as x such that x. This x is actually the element. So yan, element yan. That represent a element. Actually represent, that represents the element. What is all about the element? Those are prime numbers. And considering these conditions, another rule, x is less than 14. That can be read as A is the set of all the element x such that x is an element of prime numbers less than 14. Then another one, we have this example. We have x such that, ito yung ating rule o yung ating formula. Yung ating set ay kailangan nakasulat sa capital letter. Then we have the equal sign. Then we have the brace. At inside the brace, we have the rule or the equation or the formula. X such that x is an element of odd numbers such that yung ating element pa, yung x natin ay mas mababa sa 12. Paano basahin to? B is the set of all element x such that x is a whole number. This should be composite. This should be odd numbers. Palitan ko na lang. This must be odd numbers. Odd numbers and x must be less than 12. Again, this set can be read as B is the set of all element x such that x is an odd numbers and x is less than 12. Okay, so let us have this another activity. We're going to write this one in roster form and even in set builder form using this verbal description form. I'm going to use that verbal description to illustrate this example. Okay, so natin. Okay, so we're going to name this one as our set A. Set A is equal to, we have brace okay, so yan. Ito yung ating verbal description. X is equal to, we have set of composite numbers less than 13. So we're going to write that one or illustrate that one using the roster form. Okay, so let's have this roster form. I'm going to use again the name of the set. Of course, that is A. equal to, I'm going to list down all composite numbers. By the way, what do you mean again by composite numbers? Ano ibig sabihin ulit ng composite numbers? Again, pag sinabi natin composite numbers, these are numbers that has more than one prime factors. So, yung mga prime factors natin, aside dun sa 1 and the number itself, meron pa siyang ibang prime factors. We have, what are those composite numbers? Meron tayong 4, of course. We also have 6. We also have 8. We also have 9. We also have 10. We also have 12. Can we include 14 class? Definitely no. We cannot include 14. That is because it is stated in the given set that the element must be a composite number and it should be less than 13. Take note, it must be less than 13. Only composite number that must be less than 13 are members in this given set. Okay, next. How are we going to write that using the set builder? This time, I'm going to use the set builder. So we have set A will be equal to, and so I'm going to represent the element using X such that X is an element. So, mahirap magsulat ng element. X such that X is an element of composite numbers. Then we have comma. Then another condition we have, we're going to consider only composite number that is said to be less than 13. Then we have the brace. So that is on how you're going to write a set builder form from the verbal description. And also we have this roster form. We're going to list down the element. Since we already have this verbal form, it should satisfy that conditions. So, yan yung pagsusulat ng ating set or pag-illustrate ng set gamit yung roster method o di kaya yung set builder form. Dito kasi meron tayong rule or formula. Okay, so yan lamang po. For my next video, tabayanan po ninyo. Ito yung ating pag-aaralan, yung sa null set, empty set, subset, universal set, cardinality set, power set, and even the other, even yung ating module kasama dyan. Okay, so wait for my next video. Thank you for your listening.